Shame on you. That's terrible.
How dare you accuse me of this?
Oh, so there's some...
I didn't do it!
There's some anger now, huh?
Devyn Michaels, âgée de 45 ans, était une femme dont la vie à Henderson semblait tourner autour d'un réseau de relations familiales aussi complexe que dangereuse. Mère de 2 filles et ex-épouse de Jonathan Willette, Devyn n'était pas inconnue des autorités, mais personne n'imaginait ce dont elle était capable derrière une apparence de fragilité. Au-delà du rôle d'ex-femme, Devyn cachait un lien qui défiait toute logique. Après son divorce, elle avait commencé une relation et s'était secrètement mariée avec le propre fils de Jonathan, son ancien beau-fils. Cette étrange dynamique faisait d'elle, techniquement, la belle-mère de son propre ex-mari, créant une tension familiale qui a explosé de la manière la plus violente possible. Le 7 août 2023, l'horreur était devenue réalité lorsque Jonathan a été retrouvé sans vie dans sa chambre. Son corps avait été découpé et aspergé de produits chimiques industriels dans une tentative désespérée d'effacer les preuves. Cette vidéo a été traduite, sous-titrée et adaptée de l'anglais vers le français, afin que vous puissiez pleinement saisir l'ampleur de cette trahison. Restez connectés pour découvrir tous les détails à venir.
You do have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You understand all that? Okay. So there's been, you've given a handful of different statements and a handful of different stories along the way, and that's just what we're trying to clear up some. Okay? You understand that? So do you want to start from on the 6th? You were hanging out with John and doing some shopping? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Describe that day to me, the Cliff Note version.
Simple day.
Okay.
Went shopping, got girls' school supplies, clothes, groceries. That was it. It was a very easy, pleasant day for the most part.
Okay. And then at night, John is moving in with you?
John was moving the girls' stuff to my house. It wasn't until he had actually moved everything over until I realized he was moving some of his things over.
Okay.
John had been telling me he was going to move, but that had been months of going back and forth, and he hadn't actually moved anything, so I didn't put any stock into it. So when he moved some of his things over, that's when I realized he was actually moving his things. Yes, I remember talking to John about it. Yes, I remember talking to other people about it. But until that moment, it really wasn't something that was going to take place.
Okay.
Because at one point, a few times, he said he wasn't going to move. And it had happened more than one time, so I just took it as it was.
Okay. So you said earlier that you're, shopping. You ride with him over to drop off a last load for the night?
Yes.
Okay.
He assisted me take his truck.
Okay. And you rode with him?
We rode with him all day long.
Okay.
He wanted to take his truck because the trailer has his information on it, and he said it's free advertising.
Okay. Was the trailer loaded as well, or just the truck?
And at that time, the trailer was loaded later on that evening by John and John alone.
Okay. And did that make its way over to your house?
Yes. And that's when I found out what he had actually loaded up. It was supposed to have been the girls' things, a bunk bed, dressers, some clothes, and it turned out to be a lot more.
Okay. So earlier you described something to our partner that he wanted some sort of encounter with you?
And that wasn't going to happen. I hit him. He was not dead.
Okay.
That's when Yoko came down. I spoke with her. And like I said, afterwards I left.
Okay. Have you recently had a relationship with him?
Recently,
Well, in the past like month. Obviously, he's moving back in. You two are speaking. Have
he's
you?
asked me for favors, yes, but no, we have not, no.
You two moving in together, was there a expectation that you were going to be in a relationship together, or?
I'm sure he expected it, but he's quite aware that I am not able to do anything. I was not trying to have sex with him.
Okay, and then from there, what happens?
I gave him a back massage off his back.
It's obviously you're quite a bit smaller than he is. How did you pop his back?
He was laying on the ground and pushed again, and on the fourth one he breathes out and it's supposed to pop.
Okay, so you're straddling his lower back area or something like that, or standing up or something?
Standing up, yes.
Okay, and you're just pushing us back, he breathes out. Okay, and where was that at? In the bedroom or
On
the?
the floor of his room, yes.
I'm sorry, what?
On the floor of his room.
The floor of his room? Okay. And then from there, what happens?
He went to go smoke again and came back in and was laying on his bed and he had me rubbing his back. That's when I was rubbing his back, and that's when Yoko was coming down the stairs.
So you're rubbing, are you using anything? Like,
How was he positioned on the bed when you're rubbing his back?
Laying down on the bed.
But how though? Like, is he up next to the headboard? Is he laying long ways? Is he laying opposite of the headboard?
He's laying more towards the bottom of the bed.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's have you draw the bed and show us, i.e. stick figure, how he's laying on the bed, if you don't mind.
This is the bed. He's laying like that.
where's the head of the bed?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that's the bed and this is the headboard, okay? So obviously, for headboard purposes, these would be pillows. This is where somebody would lay their head. So you drew a line across. Now I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I want you to correct me if I say something that's wrong. He's laying across the bed, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Which side would be his head? This side, so closest to the edge of the bed, or your left, if I'm laying on it, the right side. So
There's like a wall and like a makeshift closet on this side here, right?
So I'm just going to draw a circle for a head. Is that correct? So he was laying this way. Where exactly were you while you were giving him the back rub?
On this side.
So you were on the bed
Yes.
between the headboard and him?
Yes.
So I'm going to draw an X for you. Does that sound about fair?
Yes.
Were you on top of him, kind of sitting on his butt or back rubbing, or were you on the side?
On this side.
On the side.
Any lotions or oils or anything like that?
At that time, no.
Okay. I mean, just for this incident, did you introduce lotions or oils or anything like that later on?
No.
Okay, so we're only talking about this incident here, not in the past or anything else like that, okay? So this is going on, now what happens?
He's rubbing on me, and like I said, Yoko was coming down the stairs.
So in the house, there's stairs to go to the second floor, and then there's like we'll say kitchen dining.
The second story stairs.
Okay, so not stairs into we'll call it a makeshift John's bedroom. Not those couple little stairs there, but the stairs from upstairs down.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you know this?
Because I can hear her.
You hear when somebody walks up and down the stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you know it's her and not the stepfather?
I didn't. It's just usually when I've been there before, it was always Yoko, so I just
Okay, and just to clarify noise, what noise do you hear?
Footsteps.
Footsteps. Okay.
Have you ever lived in this house?
No, but I've been there.
Okay. So John and Andrea have been together for 5-6 years or so? You didn't want to be with John, but you wanted the family back so you can get your girls back.
I didn't
Right.
want to be in a physical relationship with John. Me hanging out with John was fine. We got along well enough for that. Like, we went on picnics together, we did all of the shopping together, we watched movies together. We got along just fine for that.
Okay.
But you mentioned that he could keep your kids from you. How could he do that?
Because he had the physical custody of them. That's all. I had legal joint, but he had the physical custody. So like on Father's Day, he got mad at everyone and said, F this, go pack up the girls' stuff, bring them back.
So ultimately, he had the upper hand on you,
So he's said, yes,
right?
that's what it seemed like.
He basically called the shots.
Sometimes, yes.
How'd that make you feel when it came to your daughters?
It made me feel that, okay, don't piss him off.
So, made you feel like you had no power, no say,
You know, I just didn't argue with him.
because you don't want to make it worse.
It wasn't a worse situation, I just didn't argue with him.
Well, you just didn't want him to keep your kids from you, right?
He wasn't keeping them from me, but he always kept trying to threaten that.
Okay.
Like,
So that was always an option he had.
he would threaten it, yeah, but it seemed like he wanted me to keep the girls because it made it easier for him to work. Because I had him so he could work.
Okay. So you discussed with, we'll call him Deb because of your current husband. He was moving out, or what was the?
When we first talked about it, he made it clear he did not want to be in the same roof under with John.
Okay.
Because nothing came to be, it wasn't really a conversation we had more than once. Like I said, John didn't actually take any actions towards it. So, yeah, if John was going to move in, Devyn definitely said he would move out. But John had not moved in, so it wasn't
Okay.
our conversation.
Okay. On the 9th, so 2 days after John's found dead, you get sentenced on the child abuse case, right? You said that there was nothing there, they closed the case out, but you just pled guilty?
I took a plea.
Okay.
Because they said that when the police came, I asked them what this was about, and they said they just had some questions, and I said, am I being arrested for something? And I was told, no, we just have questions. So I answered all the questions they asked me. I was not read my rights or anything like that. Afterwards, they arrest me and file charges against me.
Okay.
So the report was based off what I had said. And that's where everything came from. I am not a murderer. I am not trying to make myself out to be anything other than what I am. Yes, I hit John.
Let's talk about that. He's laying here, got the massage, he's rubbing on you. You said at some point you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, he was starting to get on my nerves because he kept grabbing on me. I'm like, I've already said no, stop touching me.
Okay. Then what happens?
I hit him, he stopped touching me.
What'd you hit him with?
Some staff thing that was on the fireplace.
Okay, so the fireplace in the same room?
Yes.
So he's laying on the bed, you get off the bed, walk over to the fireplace?
Okay, this shit's about to get real, okay? I'm gonna explain something to you. There's about 40 years of law enforcement experience in this room right now, and that it doesn't include you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, don't play the what's going on, okay?
I'm not, sir.
Okay, well, I'm just being direct with you. All right? We're talking about your father's kid, or the father to your children is no longer here. And you are the last person that was with him. You were the last person to use force on him. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So the shit's getting real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, but the games are over. And you should look at that picture, because that's the last position you saw him in. And that's the position we saw him in when we went to that house. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So cut the shit, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty and start answering some questions for us. Don't tell us the same bullshit that you tell Detective Ozawa. You have your rest of your life ahead of you right now. You have a big decision to make right now. A huge decision that could ultimately affect your two little girls. The whole time that we've been sitting here having this conversation with you, you've had this defeated look. This can go one or two ways. When we write this report, we're going to say Devyn was non-remorseful, not even emotional.
Sir, I am.
You don't have to call me sir, all right? We're beyond that, all right?
I don't know your name.
It's Rick Christopher, okay? My apologies, because I assumed that he introduced myself even though I wasn't in the room, all right? So as we move forward, my question to you before we even get into details is if there's no light in that room, you described something to me that you picked up. So that means one thing. When you left, you took it with you, or you hid it. You saw it in light. So somehow there came light, and you saw the object. Because we know it was not on the bed, and we know it was not on the floor. So that's the stuff that I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Okay, so John is right here. You hit him. He lays there. You go out. Now we have an hour where you just don't remember what happened. What did you go back in that room and do? Cleaning up the dishes in his room?
That's what I was doing when I gave everything to Yoko, yes.
No, after Yoko.
No, I was just cleaning
What were you cleaning?
the dishes and everything.
Stop.
What's everything?
Just cleaning.
What were you cleaning?
He was laying here. You hit him in the head. You don't know what you do for an hour and 4 minutes. You leave. He's found in the exact same spot, dead. And you'd be like, oh, I don't know.
No, but the hitting him didn't feel real. Like, I don't.
I understand. So
No.
you're not in the right frame of mind, maybe because your medications, that will make it feel like it's not real.
No, everything, like, all of this feels like a nightmare, like a dream. Like, I remember being with him and us talking and everything like that, but the actual, it does not feel real. I don't feel I was there that long. I remember being there, Yoko, pharmacy, home. I thought I was home at like 2 something. You guys are saying it was,
2:42.
yeah, I promise you.
Okay. So what do you do that night after you get home?
I got home, I got a shower, I went to bed.
No, you didn't. How long did you sleep for?
About 2 hours.
Because you get home at 2:42, you're texting John's phone saying, oh, I can't find this, or where's this? And then, like, remember, we took your phone, we took his phones, we did all these downloads. I've read text messages between you, Dev, everyone else,
Yeah,
things like that.
About 2 hours.
Okay, it was, if you got home and showered and then went to bed, that'd be about 1 hour that you would have been able to sleep and wake up and start looking, if that. So it doesn't look like you slept at all that night.
I said about 2 hours, so I'm not severely off, but you guys are telling me I'm there for a long time, and I know for a fact that's not what is,
So at night,
yes,
okay, he has one key to the truck.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so why would he give you the one key to his truck when he's supposed to be over there in 2 hours? And his wallet? Yeah, because he was supposed to come over with you in the morning, take the kids to the,
In the morning. And the only thing I was thinking is maybe because I was supposed to put him up so he wouldn't be drinking and driving, because that was a big thing. He was always drinking and driving. I kept telling him to stop.
So how was he supposed to get to your house then, and meet up with the
I
kids?
don't think I was supposed to take them. I know I was supposed to take the social security card, but the other stuff I don't think I was supposed to take. In hindsight, I think I was just supposed to put him away so he would not drink and drive.
Why were they in your underwear drawer wrapped up in a million bags?
Because when he gave them to me, I didn't realize what I was taking, and I just put them away and said, keep them safe. And
That's
what
not
I did.
normal.
you just said, when he gave them to me, you're like, I don't think I was supposed to take these.
No, I said in hindsight. I literally said in hindsight, I don't think I was supposed to take those. The social security card he gave me, the other cards he gave me, you could see that on the surveillance camera. He hands me the card, but those ones, I don't think I was supposed to take them out of the house. I think I was just supposed to put them up, and then in the morning, he was supposed to go and get them. That's what I said. In hindsight, I don't think I was supposed to take them.
But why did you wrap them up in bags and hide them in your dresser drawer?
I wrapped them up. I don't think I was supposed to bring those with me.
You're not answering my question. Why were they wrapped up in plastic bags and put in your underwear
I had
drawer?
wrapped them up right then and there in front of him.
Why didn't you just put them on your dresser?
One tied, another tied, another tied. It wasn't like one tied. It was repeatedly wrapped over and over. This was a thoughtful process. To put them in there, tie it up, put it in another bag, tie it up.
Right, like I
8
said,
times.
I didn't realize what I had at the time, and he's saying keep them safe, so I'm wrapping everything up and I'm hiding it.
For what reason?
I don't know. He didn't say anything. He gave me this. He says keep it safe. It was the social security card.
The social security card was in your black backpack.
Right, I didn't even get a chance to put that away.
So you take that, put that in this not safe spot. The only thing that he asked you to keep safe, you keep in your backpack. But the stuff that you were not supposed to take, you wrapped up 8 times, 8 separate times in a bag, in bags, and then hid that?
No, do you not understand?
No, I don't.
When I got home, it was late. I showered, I went to bed. That was it. In the morning,
Or do you want to have a reason and an explanation on why it happened? So why? Why did it have to happen like this? What led up to this? What caused you to do this? Did something escalate in this room, or is this from past, or what? But why did this happen?
It's okay to cry. It's okay to show emotion. It's gonna be okay. It truly is. It's gonna be okay. Do the right thing. You're a good person. Do the right thing. We're gonna get through this together. We're not against you, by no means. We're gonna get through this together, but you have to help us. You have to help us allow you to help you. You're a good person, Devyn. I'm telling you, I know you are. You're not a monster. You're not a bad person. But you need to start doing the right thing right now. This is where you change things, you make things right.
This had to have a reason. You don't want your girls to remember you as this.
Let's take the reason out of it, okay, for right now, okay? Where is the object? Just tell us where the object is. That's all we're asking. Right now, let's take small steps.
I didn't know.
Devyn, please.
I didn't.
I'm begging you. I'm trying to help you. I'm sincerely trying to help you. Don't go down that road. It's not fair to you or your kids.
I'm not trying to go down any road, sir. You're not understanding.
No, I understand. I understand, but you're not allowing us to go through this together. You put up this wall and you're in denial. This is reality, as I said before. This is not going away. But you have an opportunity right now to make things right for yourself, to start moving in a right direction. You start to have an opportunity for closure for his parents, for your children. Understand what?
I do not know where it is because I did not give it.
Lord, this is simply amazing. In my 22-year career, this is amazing to hear you sit here